Yes, welcome to all to this webinar on daily foundry management. Today we have two guest speaker with us. One is Mr. Deepak Patil. He's from Dunung Industries. He's a plant head there, having huge experience in pattern shop, tooling, production, and management as well. So he will be a very useful asset for us in today's webinar. And second one is Mr. Prasad Nazare. He's a quality and development head in Nita Instruments Kolhapur. So he's basically a young engineer who has been contributing in development and quality, and he will be able to explain area where we have daily something coming up. If there is no problem on in particular one day, we can say it is a waste of day. Basically, it's a disaster management kind of activity in the foundry. Every day we find some problem, some disaster is happening in front of us, and what we have to do is to tackle that problem or overcome that disaster. And it is very important to understand those problems or disasters in advance, and we should be prepared for them to tackle, so that whatever foundry management or whatever production or quality series is there, it will continuously run without any problem, or it can run smoothly. So these two speakers will help us to get some guideline or tips how they are handling these disasters or these problems, how the preventive can be done to avoid such kind of issues, and they will guide us on how to tackle these basically problems or disaster, or we can say hurdles in front of us. So welcome both of them, Mr. Deepak and Mr. Prasad. Thank you for joining us. I request Mr. Deepak to start with his presentation. Hand over to Deepak.
Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you very much. Good evening, all and every foundryman in this webinar. First of all, I welcome you in this daily foundry management webinar. So it's a great privilege for me to give rather to share my experience in front of you. Actually, Sandeep has told you my total 26 years of experience in the foundry and similar activities, majorly in the foundry. Actually, I started my career in the machine shop. Then further, I've been transferred to foundry activities by Mr. Sham Sundar, who is a well-known foundry name in the foundry industries during the Patil. So started career in the pattern shop as a development engineer. My career is started. Then I face each and every crisis issues in the foundry. So I will start my presentation. Uh, Before start my presentation, I will just explain you that whatever I'm sharing my experience, it is not a hard and fast. This is has to be happen like this. Okay. So this presentation I divided into 4 to 5 topics. The first is I would like to tell you the importance of the daily management in the foundry, then importance of the development and toolings, activities in the development department, and development department, its organized structure, roles and responsibility, and finally daily maintenance of the toolings. In my presentation you find the red color marks. So majorly all activities are known, but the points which has been missed by the managers, supervisors, and even top management like us also. So I have focused this remarks in the red. So coming to the importance of the daily management foundry, the foundry is very sensitive for the parameters like a power, labor, rejection, and raw material quality variations in day to day. So where because of only any variation in the power or rejection, it will lead to the high cost impact on our final balance sheet of the month. So it is very essential to monitor these parameters day to day basis and control. Not only monitor, we need to control on that also. Then effectiveness of any action. you know that any action, if you decide and if you implement the action, the foundry will take certain time to implement, get the results. It will take certain time. So manager required a high patience to wait for the results, and whatever the action we have initiated, it must be very perfect. So it is based on the data analysis. We should have a perfect data to take any kind of decision, and data is based on, again, our day-to-day activities. As we know, the foundry work is very laborious and hard work, and most of the workers are not educated. So, considering that our instructions, our system should be so strengthened, it will be carry our whatever the requirements, whatever the reports we require, we must get it from that. And of course, work is a laborious and hard work, and most of the workers in the foundry are not educated. So we need to have a strengthened system to understand them and get the reports from a daily basis. As you know, the foundry is, every foundry has its own characteristics, where action or the system implemented in one foundry cannot be copy paste to the another foundry. From the beginning or foundation of the foundry, it's create its own characteristics, own systems, where has to build up in a its own, it's a I mean to say that every foundry has to build his own characteristics. It cannot be copy paste. And every foundryman is there know what the different issue or challenges going to face every day. Every day is a new day for foundryman, and no problem, no issues that we are going to face in daily process. So this is the one of the management criteria is top to bottom and bottom to top. I feel that foundry is the bottom to top management, because whatever the skill and whatever the performance of the foundry is depend on the totally uh, bottom level management. Bottom level management means the supervisors, engineers, managers. Whatever the top management skill or whatever the top management performance will not reflect directly to the results, but whatever the capabilities of the bottom level management will show the performance. So this is my perception that foundry is a bottom to top management. So how to come over this? We need to understand the small activities, and daily management is the key role in the foundry. Second part of this, developments and toolings. As we know, development of any for any organization, development activities are very important and crucial. It will build the image of the organization or whatever the performance on the development. While talking about the foundry development, it includes the pattern, core box, tool developments, because any performance design issue will impact to the overall performance in the production. It is going to be run for long production. And second thing is toolings are very costly. So it is very essential that it should be first time right is a very essential. And as you know, there should not be allowed any patchwork or repairs in the toolings, because if anything repair and patchwork, it will lead to the casting reaction. It will kill you on a daily basis. So these are the, then second thing is the process development. Once you develop the tooling, it comes to the process development, and it is suitable for the components. So I divided the activities of the development department in a 4 category, and depending upon the organization size and structure, it may be vary, it may be additional activity, or see, I divided the development department in the 4 activities, and these 4 activities will simultaneously perform its role. Then I will come to the organization structure, how the organization should be. The first thing is RFQ or new inquiries. That is a request for quotation or new inquiries. This is the inquiries from customer that need to be development department need to study or the feasibility part with the available plant and machinery. Then product and part development, which includes the manufacturing of pattern and core boxes. Then process development and its documentation. After manufacturing of the pattern and tooling, one casting sample production is a must. So After manufacturing of the pattern, as a development engineer, we should to develop the process and show how to uh, how the process and proven the process. Then after this successful implementation of a sample casting, then PPAP batch, then this product is handed over to production department. And after this, when all the patterns are working under the production department, the maintenance of that tooling responsibility lies with the development department. Uh, I just categorize this whatever the organization chart. So there is a top management, then development in charge. Under the development in charge, there must be development engineer 1, 2, depending upon that number can be increased. CAD engineers, then assistant engineer for documentation. Then there is a pattern shop in charge. There's pattern shop department is a separate department which carries the day-to-day activity of the tooling maintenance, and under him the pattern makers. The number of persons depend on the organization size and whatever the work involved in the organization. Now I come to the roles and responsibility. From here onwards, I will just explain the key points or whatever the roles. It may be that the head or carry on daily basis or weekly basis uh, to see the development activities perform its best level. So I will start from the roles of the top management. It are the general responsibility, and it is particularly mentioned about the developments. Apart from this, other activities, other responsibility may be lie with the management, but this is particular about the development activity. As a top management, the main responsibility is about the equipment and resources, provide the equipment and resources. Here, but importantly, I want to tell you, the top management must look after what are the latest version softwares, because nowadays in every foundry we are using the CAD CAM system, then casting simulation software. So ensure that this software in your foundry, the software is having the latest version, and AMC of the software is also important. And whatever the machines required, you need to provide for the pattern shop. Then that is the allocate the proper funds, etc., etc. The mainly is weekly monitoring development progress. Uh, any development activity will be carried out around 6 to 8 weeks. So weekly monitoring of the development progress is very important. So avoid any unpredictable shocks, that is the progress is delayed in the project. To avoid the delay in progress, you should monitor weekly. Weekly monitoring of the development progress is very essential. To motivate and encourage the team is very important. And one of the most important aspect of the top management is the proper development cost from the customer. You have to take the proper development cost from the customer. Because of the only looking for the futuristic business, what happened? We are going to take we take the orders, and some way how we neglect the development cost. We negotiate the development cost, but the development cost includes a lot of cost, not only in the patterns, core box, not only restricted with that. After manufacturing of the pattern, we are taking the samples, we are sending the castings for radiographic testing, and it is not always first time we are get the radiography is okay. We have to send it at least 3 to 4 times, and again there are the multiple cavities. So this cost is huge. So you have to mention the proper costing, convince your customer, and get that development cost from the customer. Because any compromise on the development cost will ultimately compromise on the tooling, and compromise on the tooling will lead for a longer. There's a longer issue will remain in the pattern. You have to decide which type of a pattern material you are going to use, and use the best material. I remember once I have attended the seminar of one of the leading molding machine manufacturer. So during that seminar, he told us, very in India, the development cost, the whatever the foundries are asking, the development cost is low compared to the European countries. Then also he's talked about the skill of the pattern maker. I disagree with them, but the cost is very important. If you compare the European, if you take any pattern from the European supplier, the cost of the pattern is definitely very high, and quality quality is one of the question mark. I feel that in India, in particular in Kolhapur, in this region, there are best pattern makers who can give it the best quality. The point is that we have to take the proper development cost from customer. So it is very important points. Then say after after completion of development, once the prepare batch is over, or before the prepare batch, the top management should ensure that whatever the parameters considered during the quotations are as per that quotation. Means whatever the risers, run chaplets, whatever the material used, whatever the considered in the costing parameter are used in the same during the development. And if there is any correction, you don't hesitate and ask to the customer for that correction. So build the relation with the customer. So it sometime it is plus or sometime it is minus. So be very clear cut on the pricing part. So these are the some top management responsibility towards the development. Now, second most important chain is the middle management, that is the development in charge managers, assistant managers. These are very key roles for development, because whatever the performance or activities get done is a responsible person. These are the general responsibility I'll jot down here. So I will just focus on red lines, because all other points are very generic points. So very importantly, what I feel is define role and responsibility of your subordinate. So most of the thing what happen in development department, manpower is available or manpower is given, and the activity cannot be measured and calculated on day basis. So every day there is a possibility. I'm not saying it will be happen like this, but sometimes what happen, every day the new task has been given to your development engineer or pattern makers like this. So define his role and responsibility, fix and allocate the work according to his capabilities, and take the reports on day-to-day basis. What are the performance of that activity or of that work? So this is very important, and be stick to their role and responsibility. Do not change the work. Second thing, set the target. Rejection में क्या, development तो rejection चलता है. That some kind of mind setup is there. So monitor rejection from the day first mold. And while talking about the rejection, I'm not talking rejection only about the casting. It may be rejection of your from making of the core. So first core must be okay. You keep the target like this. While I am producing the core, while mounting the core box on the core machine, whatever the time standard time fixed out for the production change, that is a tool change, it has to be changed in the first time only. So keep this target. The first core should be okay. Then mold, while releasing the mold, first mold should be okay. So like this, keep the attitude while during the development of any tooling or any tooling, because generally if you are not set any target, there will be not any end. So this is very important. And then improvement on targets also, because not only every time you will get the development activities, new part developments, then whatever the running components, whatever the improvements, you give the target to them. Second, the last point in the middle management, the general responsibility is whatever the sometimes, because the development is the activity, there are the challenges, and sometimes the decisions what we are taken may get wrong. Then whatever the failure, you had to be specific in case of failure, report immediately to your boss. This is very important. Suppose if you delayed or if you try to play whatever the play around it, ultimately project is going to be delayed because of the actions you are initiating. एंड जल्दबाजी में आप कुछ भी डिसीजन लेके वो इक्विपमेंट है उसको हम खराब कर सकते हैं. So whatever the time required, you ask from customer and top management, because that is not a short term action. This judgment is very important. Whatever the decision means, it is a major, then you have to report it immediately. Now coming to the first point is the feasibility study. So whatever the four categories I have done, this is the first category of the feasibility study. The feasibility study, the first we have to understand whatever the part we are going to be developed, it should be what product this part going to be assembled, you should know. Then understand all the drawings. Generally, for the RFQ, customer is sending the quotation purpose drawing. So in the quotation purpose drawing, you mention the balloon diagram. Balloon diagram is giving the number to all the parameters, all the considering the tolerance. You mark on 1, 2, 3, 4, what till n numbers. Even you mention till the drawing number, even notes, every notes. It will ensure you and make one Excel sheet where you put all this 1, 2, 3, 4 serial number and that the parameters and how you are going to measure or how you are going to tackle. This will help you to read the drawing thoroughly, completely, and understand how you are going to control. And during this, you come to know whether these tolerances are achievable or not achievable. Sometimes understand the customer specific requirement also. Customer specific requirement, and sometimes customer is not mentioned on the drawing, but he verbally tell you these are the requirements of the customer. But you write down that requirements and consider during the quotation. And one more thing is standards also, the material standard. Every customer had their own standards. Generally, while this feasibility study, we have a repeated customer, from the repeated customer and new customer. From the repeated customer, generally we need not to go in details, but have a check. You take this drawing and pass on to your assistant or development engineer to check that. Okay. And same point, the second is technical review sheet. What I explained you, mention all these on the Excel sheet. And in fact, this you can share the sheet with the customer. Depend on what privacy you want to maintain with the customer, whatever. But you clear all the points before any giving the quotation. I prefer the do the simulation results. Now the simulation softwares are available in every foundry. So get the simulation results to find out the yield calculation, then where the riser, filter, chaplet, whatever the requirement, because this is the going to be major cost factor in your quotation. And second important point is core box design and its productivity. Generally, we forget consider the productivity of the core box. So during the quotation, you also consider that. Then paint and oil requirement on the casting. Paint is a very important, especially when you work with the European countries or MNC companies. The application of paint, there are stringent requirements. Normally we overlook these parameters, and finally after completion of development we land up into the troubles. Then understand the customer specific requirements. Sometimes it may be not mentioned on the drawing, as I already explained this. So this is the points regarding the feasibility reports, and development manager and the development engineer should go across this. Then second part is manufacturing of the pattern and core box to suit the production requirement. I mentioned the red color in the production requirement because yes, of course, we have to make the pattern and core box to match the production requirement, but understand all the requirements from production in charge before you start the work. So there are some key points I explained in. As I explained, I told you during the RFQ, customer is submitting the drawings which are only for the code. Then before start any activity for the development of the tooling, you ensure that you have the latest drawings and models and standard from customer. And second thing, you plan each and every activity in time bound. That is the bar chart, or you hold down the activities and mention the completely bar chart, even day wise. And during this, take the commitment or involve the production and all the supportive department with this plan. This is a very important because the molding and all the activities are being carried out by production and quality person. So production involvement is very important. Conduct the review meeting with the machine shop team and assembly team as well as customer. While deciding all the patterns, parting line, core box, then risers, gating, feeding system, you must before on conclusion, you should have a joint meeting with machine shop team, because natural most of the time, there are the issues with the machine shop people and foundry people, where the we provide the getting, machine shop wants their reference point. Where are the parting line? They want some resting of the fixture. So these clashes will be faced afterwards. So if you decide the whatever the reference where they are getting holding the job, where they're taking the references. So understand properly. We must discuss with the machine shop people before starting any activity. Then the general activities, that is the design of the pattern, layout, core box, then all this normal activity we should get it done. I mentioned in is define the degating and fettling process. These are the points we missed out because once only the pattern after pouring, this is the degating. Most of the time, if the gating is not proper, it will not be degating with the cheaper. Then we have to hammer it. So degating process and fettling process must be defined, because fettling is also why I'm insisting the fettling. Nowadays, fettling operator, getting the fettling operator is very difficulty, and we unnecessarily during the development activities we finished fettle the job very nicely. We uh, put more hours to complete the few jobs, and after the production we get into trouble. So as per standard, you go to the standard and fettle the job as per the requirement, not excess fettling or try to finish the activity. Even after this, you define the component packing and delivery process. Oh, although it is in the foundry, casting going to be machined in the loose condition, but define that process, how the casting is going to, because lot of reaction may happen during the transposition because of the packing rust issue. So you mention it, how this system delivery of the components. When you reach that point, there may be a lot of suggestion from your operator, machine shop guys. Now you should ऐसा packing दीजिए, वैसा packing दीजिए, material ऐसा दीजिए, etc. etc. Okay, once this pattern activity is over, we will move towards the product and process development. That is a proving of the tool. So once the pattern is ready, you must fill and maintain one trial sheet, where trial sheet is the sheet where this sheet will be having all the data of the pattern development, and during each process this sheet is to be used for checkpoint, whether this tool core box is okay, what are the issues you faced in the core box. You note down that issues, so that you can take the appropriate action. And this will be the very standard sheet you will be avail, because during the development all the seniors or development engineers involved in, he should observe each and every process. So maintain that trial sheet. It will help you for corrective and preventive action in future. Involve all the department before producing the first sample. Of course, that is because generally what happen, pattern ready हो गया, अभी आप लगा दो, Then production in charge told the supervisor, अरे वो भी जल्दबाजी में होता है. Take a 5 samples immediately. Always, always you find that development activities are immediate. अभी करो ऐसा. So please plan that activity well in advance. And before going to produce any mold, whatever the simple components, but you follow the procedure. You involve all the department and discuss so that your component will be get first time right. So all this development team must attend minimum first 3 trials. Not only attend, go through all processes so that he can understand any issues in the development. Ensure all the casting weight, cavity, yield, core weight, that is as per specification, that is as per expectation. So take that weight, confirm the RT report and everything, understand the correct dimension which are at high. I specifically mentioned because while inspection of the casting tolerances are, if you use the CT9 tolerance, the tolerance are more wide range, then your casting tolerance are wide range. Check that castings are within mean level of a dimension. It is not a very higher side or lower side. So if reports are okay, then you study each and every dimension where it is lie in a middle range. And again, any issues you have to mention, inform the management and customer and replan activities accordingly. So these are the few points. Then coming to the tooling maintenance. Tooling maintenance, as you must aware of all, once the pattern is under production, we are maintaining the history card on a daily basis for the pattern, core box and toolings. What are the production runs? Production runs happen. First of all, you maintain the history card. So whatever the actions are being taken to reduce the rejection or some issue faced after during the production, you have to mention on that. Mention it very properly with it's some kind of format you should have when the defect is happen, why it is defect, because from this you have to take the lesson learned and try to improve in our next development. Maintain the sufficient, not a sufficient, at least there are loose pieces in the pattern and forwards. You, depending upon the cost or some, you have to maintain one stock of the loose pieces. It is very essential because you have spare, because any loose piece, you missing of any loose pieces will impact on the production. Then monitor the tool life plan of the new tooling in advance. Cleaning of the during the maintenance, regular maintenance before the pattern going to the production, you have to check all the runner bars. Runner bars are in place, vents are in place. There is not any loose runner bar or loose pattern. Pattern is not coming, not is out of the parting line. Apart from this, you should clean all the air vents on the match pattern for was is very important, especially in the high pressure bolding line. Once in a month or depend upon the frequent production of the pattern, you have to dismantle the pattern, means the two match pad you dismantle and clean all the passages for the air vents. This is very important. Then production run, ensure the pattern and core box are maintained properly. Check all the runner bar. Yes, I have already told you. Then storage of the pattern is very important. Pattern and core boxes. You consider this very important parameter, because pattern storage, not only proper rack but the identification while storing the pattern. Once the pattern come from the production, you have to clean the pattern, apply the proper oil or proper paint, pattern releasing paint, then keep it in the storage. Plan and exhibit the pattern and core box inspection plan. There is a although we are seeing the casting are producing in thousands and lakhs of production, but there are no issue. But you need to have a certain check on pattern and core box. Initially for 50,000 shots, no problem. You can go, not necessary to check. But after 50,000, or define 50,000, just I'm saying, but you decide a certain run after certain shots, you have to check the patterns thoroughly, maybe 3D scanning or maybe normal inspection, but decide on that. So tool maintenance, display the daily work plan board so that worker, pattern maker, we have a very proper visual aspect. Then maintain the pattern core box rack, ensure the proper display of the workstation, maintain the healthy environmental around the workplace. And one of the important is do not change the work plan frequently. These are the some CAD operator responsibilities. Whatever that I explained in the middle management, he is supporting. Then I have added some point more is the prepare and maintain the standard data. Standard data is required for the risers, sleeves, whatever their modulus. This our calculation must be ready with available with him. CAD operator is one of the most important task is maintain the files and drawings and 3D model standards in a separate and ensure that the latest revisions are available in the system. Because of the storing in the soft way, we need to develop some code or some password lock. So in such a manner that all the latest revision drawings of the components as well as the patterns are kept properly and all the old models are discarded properly. Yet that he has to ensure. Then prepare the casting simulation and share the reports is one of the responsibility of CAD operators. Then design the model, then preparation of the model. These are the CAD operators responsibility. Development engineer is responsible for a specific development activities. These are all are working under the manager. So now they are focused on a specific task. If the development engineers can be divided in a customer wise, if a foundry is having 4 to 5 customers, then one customer is following one development engineer so that he will be very comfortable for that development. Customer is also happy that one person is looking after him. So specific prepare the bar chart and timeline plan to complete the task. There are few hints that I want to give you. During the development engineers, if project is need to be complete in the timeline plan, then we need to have a very smart working. A normal answer from the pattern makers, pattern का casting reject हो गया. So this will give you the another 8 days for the time frame. So initiate the activity very strongly. Go to the pattern makers. Observe the each and every activity. You should have a command to detect the term and get it done on time. So these are some common management techniques that develop the healthy environmental in the organization. In any crisis or fail, keep your mind cool and calm. Do not hesitate to take help from colleagues and consultants. If I'm talking about if you're stuck in some issues or some points, because in development stage sometimes everybody means I am also faced that some components we are taken for the development, but it is not as per our expected. It will take a much longer time to complete the success. But at that time, you take the help from colleagues and consultant. Then any small mistake lead to the big mess, but also remember any small correction or suggestion will lead to complete change in the situation. So keep your moral up to and take the corrective action in a proper way. You will get the result correctly. And this is a very important for a development person or development who is working in the development department. Develop the good relation in foundry so that you will get all the service support during the development. This is a very crucial part of the all the foundry because the production people has given daily tasks to complete the dispatches and everything. And during this, the development activities maybe get delayed and no one is looking after that. But you have to get it done very properly. So maintain the good relation so that you will get the work very fast. Teamwork is a very important in foundry. Group discussion, brainstorming, we resolve all chronic issue and find out the best solution. Okay. So thank you. Enjoy your life. The special thanks to my son Amrut for the sketches, and thanks to DFG Group, Mr. Sandeep, and Dunung Group of Industry to allow me to give this presentation. Thank you, Sandeep.
Thank you, Deepak. Thank you very much. It was a nice presentation. I think you have covered almost all the points regarding development